This ATV doesn't have a clutch cable. When I pull the lever, it just sends a signal, and this actuator pulls the clutch for me. Let's see if it works. But getting to this point was not easy at all. So I started from scratch. All I had was a frame and an engine on the floor. But that's easy. The hard part was finding a place for the actuator. It had to be close enough to pull the clutch, but also far enough from the engine, heat and moving parts. My first idea was to mount it on the side under the front fender, but that spot was already full. The suspension moves there, the exhaust is close. There was just no safe space there for the actuator. So the only place I could really mount it was at the front. There was more space there and the angle made more sense. But mounting the actuator at the front made a new problem. The cable angle was wrong, so I had to make an angled cable guide to keep it lined up with the engine. Now the cable layout was starting to make sense, but I still needed a solid mount for the actuator. So I made a quick sketch in Fusion and 3D printed it from PETG. As you might know, this is a two-stroke engine and it vibrates a lot. So I will be using these rubber dampers to protect the actuator from all those nasty vibrations. And somehow the holes lined up on the first try, which is highly unusual for me. But before we can mount the actuator, I need to fix one problem first. The first version of the main plate was homemade from low-grade aluminium, and while it worked fine for testing, I needed something much more stronger for the final setup. So I had a new one made by JLC CNC using 7075 aluminium, which is way stronger. And compared to the old homemade plate, this is a massive upgrade in appearance and quality. It feels stronger and works much better for the final setup. The finish is cleaner, the holes are accurate, and the whole part feels much stronger than my homemade version. Ordering these parts was very easy. I uploaded the CAD file, selected the material, surface finish, build time, and I could see the price right before ordering. JLC CNC also offers build times as fast as only 3 days, which is really nice when you want your parts quickly. You can also choose from multiple shipping options based on how fast you need the parts. So, if you need custom CNC parts for your own project, check out JLC CNC, the link is in the description. After some late night work, I finally got the actuator mounted, so I did a quick test and it worked exactly how it should. At this point the clutch worked and the actuator was mounted, but this room was getting way too small for the whole ATV, so let's spawn somewhere else. And here we are, my friend is helping me out here and we are starting the final assembly of the whole ATV. Now it was mostly building the ATV back together, checking that nothing was rubbing and making sure everything still fit the way it should. This part always looks fast in a time lapse, but in real life it was a lot of small things that all had to fit at the same time. So here we are, I fired up the ATV for the first time. I was checking the timing, making sure the engine was running right. But after a few tests, something very bad happened. I did not film the exact moment, but there was a loud backfire and the engine locked up. And when I opened the engine up, well, you will see. Oh, Zaya piece. Ooh. Nice. I'm not fully sure why this happened. Maybe it happened because this reed block was a cheap Chinese copy? Yeah, most likely. But anyways, I cleaned everything up and I replaced it with the original reed block. With the engine working again, we can finally get back to the actual problems, which is making the electric clutch work on the ATV. Now we can finally mount the electric clutch and get ready for the first real test. First, I mounted the actuator unit and connected the cable. And after that, it was time for the first test. The ATV was on the stand, I put it in second gear, and now we could see if the electric clutch actually works. And it works, but right away I could tell it was more like on-off behavior, which is fine for basic test, but if I actually want to ride this thing, the clutch needs to be much smoother. So after a few hours of adjusting the clutch feel and bite point, I was finally starting to get somewhere. So now let's do another test. But this time I'm controlling the clutch from my laptop instead of the clutch lever. At this point I'm not testing how fast it reacts. I'm only using the laptop to slowly move the actuator and see if the clutch engages and disengages in a controlled way. And also, before the big test, I cut the clutch lever shorter, so I could use it with my index finger only. And now, the moment we have all been waiting for. Will this electric clutch actually work with the engine running and wheels on the ground? This first test is to take off with the engine at idle to see if the clutch control is smooth enough. That worked surprisingly well, so now let's go a little bit further. Let's see if the electric clutch is fast enough. Now let's go even further and be a bit more aggressive. You might ask, how does the electric clutch feel like? Well, it felt a little strange at first, but in a good way. After a few rides, I already knew how it behaved, and it started to feel natural. Just a lot easier than a regular cable or hydraulic clutch. Overall, this has been a massive success so far for me, and even though it was not easy, it works just the way I wanted. You might wonder, what is next? Well, now the fun part begins, because now that the core function works, I want to add a couple of modes that are only possible because this is an electric clutch. And here is a short demo for full ape mode. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video.